reason God hasn't sent you your husband is because he wants you to focus on him. He wants you to seek him. Matthew 6:33 tells us, seek the kingdom of God first. Not second, not third. First. And all these things will be added onto you, which means if you seek God and you make God your number one priority, you will get the desires of your heart in due time. The moment you start obsessing over the when, where, and who, you are making this person, you are making this thing God. You are making it an idol. And God is looking at you like, if you're going to make the imaginary husband an idol, I don't even know how you're going to act when I give you the real thing. But also the when, where, and who, that ain't none of your business. That's God's business. If you truly believe in God, if you truly are a child of God, that means you understand you're not in control. God is in control. The minute you start panicking and worrying and being like, oh, the clock is ticking. I'm 31, I'm 32, I'm 33. And you start going on all these data sites and giving people a chance that you know deep down you don't got no business entertaining this person. You are not trusting God. You are trying to make it be your own will, and you're trusting yourself. And that's the problem. You think too much with your human mind and not enough with your spiritual mind. The human mind will tell you your biological clock is ticking. If you're a woman and you're not married by the age of 33, it's downhill for you. That's the human mind. The spiritual mind says, I'm chilling. I ain't worried about nothing, because guess what? My faith is in God, not in myself and not in my own human logic. My faith is in the Most High. I'm not allowed to worry about nothing. When I believe in God, I'm going to be very transparent. There was a point in time, probably about 8 months ago, I was obsessed with meeting my future husband that I still have yet to meet. But yeah, I was obsessed with the idea of meeting my husband and being a wife. I was constantly telling God, I'm ready, God. I'm ready for my husband. When you gonna send him? I'm ready to be a wife. Can we speed this process up, God? But looking back, I am so happy God did not connect me with my husband 8 months ago when I swore I was ready, because where I am mentally and spiritually now, I realized there was certain lessons I still needed to learn in order to prepare me for my husband. And if God would have said, all right, fine, I'm going to give you what you want, who knows? I might have self-sabotaged that. So I actually thank God for not giving me what I wanted when I wanted it. Because God knows when we're truly ready for something, but also the other person who's involved, he has to be ready too. You might truly be ready, but God might still be preparing him. So you have to just trust God's timing and God's plan. And this all came to me while I was meditating the other day. God whispered to me, aren't you glad I didn't send you your husband when you thought you were ready for him? And I was like, actually, I am very happy, because I have really cherished all this alone time I've had with God. This is the closest I've ever been to God in my life. So I'm like, no, I actually am happy you didn't give me what I wanted when I wanted it. Because here's the thing. When my husband does come along, I'm not going to have as much alone time with God as I do now. And especially once I pop a little baby out this stomach, I'm really not going to have as much time with God as I do now. So when I really sit and think about that, I'm like, dang, that kind of makes me sad. And of course, I'm going to still make time for God, even when I'm married, and I'm a mother and all that. But let's be real. You being single and completely living by yourself, you don't have a husband or a child to, take care of, that does allow you a lot more time with God. And I love God so much that I really do cherish my alone time with him. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to soak up this time that I have with you, Lord. I've been single and abstinent for almost a year. It'll be a year at the beginning of October. This is the longest in my adult life that I have been single and that I have not been busting it open. This is the longest. I have always been attached to some man in some way, shape, or form. I have not been entertaining anybody. I haven't went on no dates. I haven't kissed nobody. I haven't did anything. And it's not because I'm scared. It's simply because I want what God has for me. I've used my own human logic in choosing partners too much. So I just want to depend on God. I want God to lead me to my husband. I'm not trying to make it be my own will. If I want what God has for me, I have to be patient. But also, if you want what God has for you, you have to do what God asks of you. You know deep down, you should not be entertaining all these men. A lot of women will say, I'm ready to be a wife. I want to be a wife. But at the same time, they'll say, well, I'm single till I'm married, so I can do whatever I want. Yeah, technically you can, but you have to be mindful. God is always watching. You're contradicting yourself when you say you're ready to be a wife, but you still busting it open and being promiscuous and entertaining all these different men. I'm not judging, but I have to be honest because I used to be like that. If you want to be a wife, you claim you're ready to be a wife, you got to carry yourself like you already are one. And I don't mean shacking up. I don't mean playing house. I don't mean giving a man wife benefits when he has not made a commitment. No. What I'm saying is you have to carry yourself with respect. You can't be out here conducting yourself any type of way. You got to move like you already got a ring on your finger. You got to move like you already somebody's wife. You can't be just doing whatever you want and not thinking about how you are presenting yourself. And I'm not trying to judge. I'm actually a very open-minded person. I'm not saying you got to wear turtlenecks and sweatpants and you can never go out and have fun. No, I'm not saying that. Live your life, but just be mindful of how you carrying yourself. And like I said, if you saying you want to be a wife, why are you entertaining all these different men who you know damn well are not your husband? You know how when you lose something around the house and you go crazy looking for it because you know it did not just walk up and leave. It's somewhere in this house. So you ransack the house, go crazy looking for it, and you just can't find it. So eventually you say, you know what? I give up. I'm not about to drive myself crazy looking for this thing. Then you go off and do something else. And when you're doing something else completely unrelated to finding this thing, it pops up when you least expect it, when you're not looking for it. Guess what? That's how God is going to send you your husband. After months of me obsessing about when, where, and how I was going to meet my future husband, I had a coming to Jesus moment in my kitchen where I was like, you know what? I surrender. I surrender to you, God. I trust your timing and I trust your plan. You can take as long as you want. I don't care if it takes a year. I don't care if it takes 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I'm not worried about it at all. I'm not allowed to worry about it. It's completely out of my hands. I am completely letting go and trusting you, God. And when I did that, I literally felt like a weight was lifted off me. I literally felt like my body felt lighter. And that's what happens when you give it to God. Guess what? It's going to be time when God says it's time and not a minute sooner. Focus on building your relationship with God. Focus on building yourself up. Keep preparing yourself until God says it's time. But also, don't prepare yourself just so I can be a good wife to my husband. No, prepare yourself to be the highest version God has called you to be. And that should not stop even once you meet your husband. I pray this video was helpful. If it was, make sure you like it and make sure you're subscribed. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.